Michigan info just dropped, I guess.
A statement from the University of Michigan. This morning, the university, Coach Harbaugh, and the Big Ten resolved their pending litigation. The conference agreed to close its investigation, and the university and Coach Harbaugh agreed to accept the 3-game suspension. Coach Harbaugh, with the university's support, decided to accept this sanction and return the focus to our student-athletes and their performance on a football field. The conference has confirmed that it is not aware of any information suggesting Coach Harbaugh's involvement in the allegations. The university continues to cooperate fully with the NCAA's investigation. So Friday morning, there will be no injunction or court case. This thing got settled before that. He will serve a suspension this week against Maryland and next week against Ohio State. Excited to hear that this has ended, seemingly. We will have to chat about the team without Coach Harbaugh, and now we all move forward. I do like and appreciate that it has been said numerous times now, both by Coach John Harbaugh of the Baltimore Ravens and in this particular statement, that Jim Harbaugh didn't know this shit was going on. That needs to be understood, I think, is what everybody who cares about Jim Harbaugh is saying. We agree with that stat and that fact, because anytime your integrity gets questioned, your entire family's integrity gets questioned, especially as an old school football guy, that can hurt, and that's not good. That's bad, obviously. So him not knowing, we agree with. Him reaping the benefit of is what the Big Ten's like, hey, we gotta, something, we have to. I think this is a good meet in the middle. Michigan fans obviously aren't going to be thrilled about it ever because they're losing Harbaugh for some games, but I think we're all pumped just to move on, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, and who knows what Harbaugh will say after this, but this could easily be, I accepted it because even though I didn't know, anything that happens here is I'm the head coach, so it falls on me.
Yeah, and it's like Michigan probably just got to that point. Jim got to that point. Yeah. The Big Ten was like, hey, we have to, we have to. Yeah. This has to happen. Now, Maryland this weekend, obviously could be tough. Ohio State, though, next week. Here we go. Who's going to the college football playoff pretty much?
Yep. Yeah, time to find out.
Who's going to be the head coach of the team? Is it Sharon again? After what happened last week, they get a big-time win. Mm-hmm. They run the ball 35 straight times to close that thing out against Penn State. He obviously has the emotional interview afterwards where you can see how much it meant to him. Mm-hmm. A lot of people judge him for that, but obviously it meant a lot to him. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people get to a point where they're crying out of happy and emotion and passion, which I guess some people certainly judged him for pretty heavily. But here we go. Now it's all over. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
Thank God. Because on Friday, us having to be like, we're waiting on a ruling.
Yeah.
Again.
I'm happy we don't have to do that. Sports is better whenever we're not talking about all this type of stuff.
Yes.
Maryland better neck rolls. Because you think 35 straight, this will be 55 runs straight.
Hey, let's just get out of here.
Because everybody's going to be talking about Ohio State, and the team's going to want to win these games so they can get their head coach back and go play for a natty. In the college football playoffs. So, but Maryland, I mean, that'll be they got to stay focused on this, but they're going to get a face full of the inside. It's inside run.
It's not a bad idea though, too. Like, hey, let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
Let's just win this game and let's get the hell out of here. We don't have our coach, who's obviously, and you're Desmond Howard talk about it. I was like, at least he's there during the week. He can have game plan. Mm-hmm. He can have his fingerprints still on the program. He can still motivate the guys. He can talk the night before the game. Like, he's still around. And Desmond brought up a good point. He was like, if you look at his first 3 games when he was on the sideline versus how they looked whenever he was on the sideline, like, he makes big money for how he does game days as well. So him not there for decision-making, take a lot of decisions out of there whenever you decide, hey, we're just going to run it right down their fucking right down the fucking field. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Did it last week against Penn State. Do it this week. Defense, nothing changes. Okay, we do what we got to do. Offense, we're running it right down their throats. And then, JJ, we apologize for your Heisman candidacy. But whenever we get to the college football playoff, you'll be able to do whatever the hell you want to do. Let's just win these games. I respect it if that's what they end up doing, AJ.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think I mentioned on here earlier. The fact that he's able to be there during the week, that's when all the game planning goes on, and he's not the direct offense or defensive play caller on game day, too. So there's not you don't have to shuffle that many things.
Yeah, but there's a chance he says, hey, I like what we're doing when we're doing this.
Oh, for sure. It's definitely going to have an impact, no question. But if he was like the offensive play caller, then you really got to panic because if you don't have somebody next in line.
Him sitting at home, watching it unfold, how he didn't expect it to unfold. Like, can I text? How do I get my messaging?
Yeah. Is he allowed to text?
I don't know.
No way. There's no way he's allowed to contact anybody on the sideline.
Couldn't he just dress up?
What if he flew a plane that had a message?
That'd be smart.
Yeah.
Well, can't he just dress up in Maryland gear and a mustache?
They come get his
that's what they got in trouble for.
They get a cell phone before kickoff.
They get a cell phone?
They got to get it.
What if it was a plane, though? What if it was a plane? What if it was a plane that said,
Banner.
Start throwing it more.
Yeah. Yep.
Harbaugh.
Yep.
He was sitting in an FBO.
Yep.
Like right next to it, just different messages to the plane company to fly it up behind it. Every quarter, there's a new plane flying over top of the message. Who's that coming from? Throw the ball more.
Put more tight ends in the game.
So just when they do win the Big Ten championship, who can we put Michigan or Ohio State in then? I don't know.
Nope.
I don't
Can't.
know.
Now the Connor Stallions.
Yeah, exactly.
And now.
Hey, Pete Thamel's still doing stuff, isn't he? He's still doing
is.
stuff right now?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously, paying attention to what's going on with the NCAA and James Madison this weekend. But if I were Pete, I'm looking ahead to next week in Ann Arbor. I hope Pete has some riot gear for College Game Day, because I think there's a pretty good chance, he might, I don't know, you got a couple disgruntled Michigan alumni, young kids who are still students at Michigan. They might be bringing, I don't know, eggs to throw at him, or, I don't know, bags of feces, bags of urine. I hope Pete has some riot gear. I hope his head's on a swivel, because, oh boy, guess what? The Wolverines are going to come calling when College Game Day goes to Ann Arbor.
Herbie, it's getting loud on the internet. I mean, Ty Pete is reporting about real Pete, and those things are really being said on the internet. I think we should put him out there as if he's like in a war zone.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like put the whole thing on.
War correspondent here.
When Lester Holt is live and they got the whole helmet gimmick.
Like Michael Cole was from over there.
Boom, the whole gimmick. We're talking about the whole. Put the damn
bulletproof helmet,
flapjack.
It says press on it.
Yeah. Right across the front.
Riot shield.
That'd be awesome. Hey, Pete, what's Friday again? Like, isn't there something going down Friday? Is there?
So, basically, I can't remember I think the judge, Henry Allen Laudermilk, he's going to...
Susan or something.
It was, but then they found out, hey, she's a Michigan man or Michigan woman, if you will. Jim Harbaugh will be speaking, Herbie. He said, hey, listen, I'm going to show up, and my khakis are going to be pressed, and I'm going to talk. So we'll see. I mean, again, there's talks of, the TRO, which is, of course, in legalese, a temporary restraining order. So we'll see if Michigan's going to, slap an injunction. Also, rumors that he may be auditioning for a future episode of Judge Judy, because we know about his proclivities for Judge Judy. So it should be an interesting day in Ann Arbor.
Hey, but that's really important on Friday, actually, on whether or not Coach Harbaugh can coach on Saturday against Maryland.
What's your prediction? I predict he's out Maryland and coaches Ohio State game.
Yep, that's what I'm assuming as well. And I think for the Maryland game, think about this one, Herbie. John Harbaugh coaching, because he's in, right? Playing.
That'd be good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right? How would
Might
that,
as well.
Why? Could you imagine John Harbaugh on the sideline?
So cool.
That would be the greatest thing for this whole story to add into. Is
He came out pretty strong this week, huh?
Yeah, he gave a good promo for his brother and was like, hey, basically the integrity of our entire family has been questioned. Is that what you heard
Get
from
their
him?
dad down there, too. Get Jack. Oh, yeah.
Jack's
It'd be
a dog.
classic.
I mean, could he do that?
Who says no?
Why not?
The NCAA.
I think didn't they talk about early in the year when he was suspended the first three that Jack was possibly going to be the head coach and be on the sideline for those games?
They had talked about that, but you'd have to ask Pete the rules of whether or not you can bring somebody off the staff in there like that. I don't know.
Oh, that sounds like Herbie knows the rules. He does a lot of that, by the way.
Shoot, they got 100.
Herbie will do a lot
Couldn't he be
of that.
Pete? Couldn't he be an analyst? Couldn't they hire him as an analyst?
Well, it depends because, as you know, Connor Stallions was an analyst, and I think that kind of set off an atom bomb, sized, issue across the entire Michigan football team. I don't know per se if they're going to be, bringing an analyst down, but yeah, Jack, who knows? Maybe him and John tag team it. We know
Hawk and Animal like the Road Warriors.
Imagine
if they get an intro too. They come out like the Bushwhackers.
Make it happen.
Who's got it better than us?
Nobody.